Welcome again to Reflections on the Community and its Cultures. This time around, some notes on healthy families and a look at square dancing in the community. Later, Kim Emmert and Travis Alexander will talk about some Kansas Children's League efforts toward improving families and the roles of fathers. First up, caller Bruce Main and dancer Ruby Smith will talk about the Promenade Club and the fun and health benefits of square dancing. That's coming up on Reflections. On this segment of Reflections, we welcome Bruce Main and Ruby Smith. And I could say something corny like, I see by your outfits, but we don't do corny
We don't
jokes.
just like his old time.
Oh, no, we don't do corny jokes on this show. Bruce Main is one of the callers for the Promenade Club in our community. Ruby Smith is obviously one of the dancers in the Promenade Club, and we're here to talk a little bit about this. This is an institution, and I know from personal experience that this is an institution that has been an institution in our community for quite a while. I remember my parents, bless their hearts.
Yeah, Promenade Club's been around over 40 years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
How long have you been involved in the Promenade Club?
I was here and then got out and then come back. I've been about 4 years now.
Yeah.
That I've been doing a little calling, trying to work on it.
Okay. And Ruby Smith, how long have you been involved in this?
40 years.
Yeah. So you remember my folks
Yes,
as fellow square dancers.
Yes.
I'm not sure how long they were involved, but I know they were involved.
They were before we got into it.
Good stuff, good stuff. How did you get into the business of calling square dance? We'll get a little bit of a sample of what that kind of looks like, but how did that?
I went to a dance and I thought, man, that looks like fun. And I just told Richard, I said, I'd like to try that. And he said, okay. And he said, get a record and we'll go to work.
Okay.
So
Richard is
Richard Verge is the caller for the Promenade
who's
Club.
been doing that for.
Oh gosh, I don't know how long.
He's been doing
40 years too, yeah.
Because when you mentioned that name, I remembered hearing
Yeah.
that name again from the days when my folks were square dancing. We have a little sample of what square dancing sort of looks and sounds like. And this was done when and where?
About a year ago at Eisenhower School.
Okay.
Well, we were celebrating Richard's 40th year of calling.
Oh, really?
And so we kind of had a little celebration going on. So we had some callers from all over the area come in.
Yeah. And we're about to see, like I say, just a little squib of what went on there. And who's involved in this? Who are the dancers involved in this?
Well,
Is
some
it
of
from
them
all
Promenade
those
Club,
folks?
but it's from all over the southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma area.
Okay. Well, let's go to a dance. Let's take a look. We'll peek in at a little bit of Promenade Club action.
Sides face, grand square. Please don't say I look like Willie Nelson. If you do, then I'll just sit right down and cry. But if you say that I can sing like Richard Verge, then I know you dancers are on my side, circle left. I'm just another square dance caller, trying to make a living with the song. Swinger Promenade. Maybe someday we'll get to Nashville, but you know that don't road is long. Hey, Promenade, I go just halfway. Come down the middle, square you got the four hands around right, that's where the ring is found. You figure the left of the Ferris wheel once more. Square your three hands down at the corner, you swing. Swing the corner Promenade. Maybe someday we'll get to that, but you know that don't really is long. Hey.
Bruce Main doing the calling there, and Ruby Smith, one of the dancers I saw twirl by. Different outfit. How many outfits do you have?
Probably 20.
Yeah.
Really? And how do you acquire a square dance outfit?
You can buy them at festivals that we have in Tulsa or anywhere. And a lady in Coffeyville made these.
Wowzers.
She made five dresses and fixed up 7 shirts.
Yep.
I noticed, and again, I have some vague memories because I used to sometimes hang around when my parents were at the Promenade Club. I noticed your style of calling square dance is a little different from what I remember. Yours is a lot more, you come real close to singing, don't
There's
you?
2 types of calls. One is called a singing call, which that's what we were doing there. And the other is what you associate with the auctioneer call, and they call that patter. Yeah.
Okay.
That's just what we had on the tape.
How much do the dancers, how much is it kind of freestyle dancing, and how much of it is following directly the
It's
caller's?
pretty much following what the caller says. They can add their
But you
own.
can change it at the drop of a hat.
Oh, yeah.
And does that confuse the dancers when he does that?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can, you can walk or dance the way he's calling, just the slow pace, or you can get with it and do your own dances. You can do your own thing. You can put a little swing dance in there if you want.
Okay, but there are actual moves.
Yeah,
There are
there's,
actual
depending on what
things.
list you look at, some say there's 60, some
Really?
say 65 of basic mainstream moves.
One that, for some reason, is stuck in my head, and it's a dangerous place for something to be stuck. Alaman left?
Yeah, that's just
What's
where
that?
well, you've got a square. You basically got a square, and the lady on your left is your corner of that square, and you would take her by the left hand, walk plumb around her, and go right back to your partner.
Okay. And do you know where that term comes from? I mean,
No,
why
I do
it's-
not. It's just always been that.
Like I say, it's that for some reason that thing is. And what are some of the other calls that you can?
Well,
just,
you've got a right and left through. You've got a swing through.
what's a
there's-
right left through?
It's just a right pull by, and you what we call courtesy turn.
With
You
two
turn the girl
couples.
around
With
with
two
you're
couples.
facing couples.
Okay. So it's
And,
4 people doing that all
Yeah,
at once.
The modern day square dance, it's not what they used to have back in the old day where one couple went to this couple and they went to this couple and around. Everybody does something almost all the time. It's not what you learned in 4-H, it's not what you did in gym class. This is a whole lot more involved. There's different levels, and you can, it's just not what you're thinking. You're not the hillbilly and hook at arms and jump in circles. We don't do that.
Okay, but it sounds tough. How does anybody learn how to do this stuff? How does anybody learn how to listen to you and do what you say?
You just start out slow. Like I say, you start with the Alaman, and then
It's
you come back.
lessons.
Yeah, you go through the lessons.
Okay, let's
And,
talk about it, because that's something you kind of mentioned up front that
Yeah.
you'd like to talk about.
We've
lessons.
got lessons starting in Independence, Monday the 12th at 7:30 at Eisenhower School.
Okay.
And then I'm teaching a
12th
group in,
of September.
Yes,
Okay,
September.
all right.
And I'm teaching a group in Coffeyville, and we'll start Tuesday the 13th at 6:30, and we'll be at the Senior Citizens Building there. And they've got a good little hall for us to work in down there. So we got 2 places that you can come for the area to learn to dance.
Are you working both those lesson sessions? or
No,
are you
Richard will
splitting
be
them
doing the
up?
ones in Independence, and I'll
Okay.
be doing one in
And what
Coffeyville.
time? The one in Independence takes place on the 12th of
It's
September.
at 7:30 at Eisenhower School.
Okay. And the one in Coffeyville starts?
It's at 6:30, and we'll be at the Senior Citizens Building.
Okay. Coffeyville people start work early, huh?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. And what kind of things will they learn? I mean,
Oh, we'll
it
do all
sounds
the
to me-
base. We'll just mainstream down there.
Okay.
Everybody will do the basic square dance. Yeah, it'd take a couple of months, probably one night a week, and then we'll just start dancing. And once you get to the dances, you can head to the festivals and everything and have a great time. And you can't believe how much fun it is.
Like
Ruby,
he
Ruby
can-
Smith said she didn't want to talk much, but she does now. What is it? No.
Well, no. He teaches so many calls,
Okay.
and then after those so many calls are learned, then he can put it to music, and the dancers are dancing
Yeah, the first
Right,
night
the
we'll
first
have
night
them
they're
do. We'll go
dancing.
through
Really?
something. They'll be dancing the first
like
night.
circle left and a left Alaman and a right left through, and then they're dancing.
Of course, you've been doing this for a while, upwards of 3 years. And, but was it hard for you to get into this and to learn it?
Jim Bohr, back in 1968, we first moved to town. He was a square dancer, he and his wife, and he called me one night, and he said, "You and your husband be ready to go dancing tomorrow night. We're square dancing." He said, "Be ready at 6:30. We'll be by to get you," and he hung up on me.
Jim was an exceptionally charming fellow.
Scared me to
and
death.
very indirect.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Scared
I
me
can
to
I can
death.
hear that call. You're going to
Scared
be
me to
there.
death. And so, but I bawled and squalled and worried, and the next day, but we went, and I was hooked. First night, I was hooked. We both, he and I both were.
If you can get to 3 lessons, we usually hook you in 3 lessons.
Yeah.
If you can get there, you'll stay.
How many folks are involved in the Promenade Club?
Oh gosh, I don't have any. We've got.
And of course,
we've got
not
about-
everybody's there every time. But
No, we've probably got 3 to 4 squares on the books.
Yeah.
It'd be 32 people, I guess, or it takes 8 to make a square.
Yeah.
4 couples.
And you want some more.
But it was.
Oh, yes,
It
we
used to
want-
be bigger
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, we want a lot. You know, I'd like to get some in Coffeyville if we could, because it's been a lot of years since Coffeyville's had a group
Really?
down there dancing. And I'd kind of like to get them started back too, and get
Indeed.
more people in the area.
Why? Okay, we'll make this a two-part question. First part to you, and the same question to you. First to the caller. Why should anybody get involved in this?
Oh, well, first of all, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, you know, for some reason, square dancing has a stigma. I don't know if it's because when you was little, you was forced to dance with the girls when you didn't want to. But this is different than what you did there. But it's just a lot of fun. Even the lessons, you'll do more laughing than you'll do anything. And it's good benefits for, you know, it keeps your mind sharp, keeps your body moving. You know, it's really, you can burn 400 to 500 calories in a half an hour.
Yeah.
We dance 3 to 5 miles.
We
In a
walk 3 to
dance.
5 miles
Is
a
that
night.
right?
In a dance night, you can walk 3 to 5
From the
miles.
dancer's point of view.
3 to 5 miles a night, yep.
So what was the charm of it to you? You said you fell for it immediately.
Well, it was something to do,
Yeah.
and it was fun. And we met Richard and Carolyn Verge right after we moved to town, and Jim and Becky Bohr and Bob and Sue Halvard. We got them all, not Jim and Becky, but we got the rest of them all into square dancing, and we traveled. We go to festivals.
Tell us briefly about that, the festivals that you go to.
In Tulsa, Oklahoma, first
Okay.
weekend of April every year, they have a square dance festival, and they come from all over.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know how many people were there the first night we went, but there was many. And
Bruce Main, if somebody is interested, the quick and dirty thing to do would be to show up on the 12th and Independence, the 13th in Coffeyville.
That'd be great.
And do the lesson thing.
That'd be great. Or they can call. We've got some numbers. You can call me at home.
Okay, why don't you give us those numbers quickly?
620-485-3207. If I'm practicing, I'm not going to hear you, so leave a name and a number on the machine, and I'll
right.
call you back. And Richard's number's
it's 331-4281.
Okay, so that would be calling each of the callers.
Yes.
If you want some more information about the Promenade Club, you want a little more information about square dancing. Sounds like the information is do it, darn it, because it's fun and because it's healthy.
Oh, it's fun. You'll never laugh more in your life. And if you think you can't get lost in a little 10 by 10 square, just come on out. We'll get you lost.
It sounds to me like that would be quite
And
easy.
if we
to
get lost, we blame it on somebody else.
blame it on this guy.
You blame it on the caller.
620-485-3207 or 331-4281 for some
That's
more
Richard.
information. That would be Richard Verge, and the first one that started with 620 was
Bruce,
this
yes.
chap here, which is Bruce Main, and she's Ruby Smith, and they're
And there's a
involved
square
in
dancer right over there.
Uh-oh, got another one on camera over there too, but we're not going to let him talk. We'll have more coming up though on Reflections.